Hey fellas, your commissioner here, coming at you for the end of the year award show. It's the first time I've ever done something like this. Brand new. We're gonna see how it goes. See how the kinks work out. Kudos to all you guys for getting on and voting. Gonna have little sound effects, a little fun in games, kind of like my first video of the year. I know how well that went. Um, First off, I want to, obviously, as I did the introduction, I was thinking, well, do I need to, should I play a theme song or should I do applause or cheers because you guys love me so much? And I found this sound effect and I thought this seems just the most appropriate for how you guys feel about me. Call me Roger. I love it. Give me the booze. Come on, give me the booze. Nope, not the laughing. I want the booze. I need them. Come on. That's all you got? That's all you got? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so obviously I'll be your host for this afternoon, this evening, this morning, whenever the hell you're watching this. I don't know. It's going to come out here in about, 5 o'clock on a Friday. I feel pretty good. Got off work early. It's Christmas time. Holidays are right around the corner. I searched. I was thinking, racking my brain. Who can I get to host this thing? Who can I get to host this thing? And thought Brody. Well, Brody can't really talk, so that might be an issue. And then Kevin Hart, and he's already bowed out of one thing. So what kind of precedent does that set for our league if I go and invite him? It's rather than have all these folks, these nice folks, turn us down. Guess what? I'm turning them down. Okay, not so fast, my friend. There's only one man for the job. It's your fearless commissioner. It's your wonderful, wonderful leader, folks. It's me. I figure this is the only person who can do this. So here we are. We got a lot of great awards. Thank you for the council members for providing your input to me. Some of the awards are not that great. We got 3 of them that really were unanimous, just kind of laundry list, similar to the league scoring champion, which will also be mentioned on the show tonight. Let's just go ahead and get into it. I think I'm supposed to do more of an opening, more of a monologue, cold open. I think that's usually how these awards show go. So I'll just go ahead and ramble a little bit. Thought we had a really good year. I see that guy right over there. That guy, man, I tell you, he's a prankster. He did a lot of crazy stuff this year in the league that shocked a lot of people. And we got this guy over here, man. Oh, man. I feel really bad for this guy. He just had a lot of poor luck with injuries and his schedule. And I'm just hoping maybe next year he'll come out strong and have a point to prove. And then we got this guy. Get this guy out of here, man. Get this guy out of here. This guy. You guys know how I feel about him. He's just the worst. He is the worst, isn't he? He's the worst. So somehow he got in here. I think he might win some awards tonight, but maybe that's probably the only reason why. Let's see what else we got. Football is obviously wrapping up this year. Been a lot of parity in the league this year. Not really one team that stood out. I think that's really shown in fantasy as well. I mean, we've got a lot of high-scoring games this season. I think one of the highest-scoring leagues seasons we've had in modern history, league history. We had our first 2,000-point regular season score, your Triple B guy, the guy who won the league last year, him. He's got a lot of accolades coming his way. I don't know. I don't know the answers to these. I don't know. Do I know? I don't know. Do I? Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. So obviously, very jazzed up here. I thought about wearing a Santa hat. I thought that might have been too informal. Just want to wear a nice suit for y'all. Get dressed up. Because I really, I couldn't do what I do without you guys. I really couldn't. You guys are the reason I enjoy doing this so much. All the bickering and the back and forth and the camaraderie that we have and the little trades that get pulled off every now and again. It's really a blessing, to have you guys here and be active participants in the league. I think this is by far the best fantasy football league in the damn country, in the damn world. If you can find one better, please show it to me because I'll prove you a liar right there. So, without further ado, enough of me and my spiel. Let's just go ahead and get into I'm not really going to do a recap. It's a little bit different. See, I kind of caught myself already there. We're just going to go ahead and start with the awards. We'll just go ahead and start with the awards, and then we'll get into the games and the boring stuff here in a second. So, kicking off our first award. This one doesn't really have a name. It's been one of the longest running awards we've had. One of our inaugural awards. Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it? So that would be our league scoring champion. The owner who put up the most points in the league during this fantasy football season. No drum roll needed here. I think you guys all know who it is. I want to get the point total correct, just to give him all due respect, because it was an impressive feat. I mean, this guy was putting up points week in, week out, like there's nobody's business. Like he's losing his hair, and folks, he is, isn't he? That would be Mr. Nick Wheeler, our coach, our co-commissioner, our assistant to the commissioner, and our reigning league champion. He put up a whopping 2,028.6 points this season. By far the most in the league. Won it by about 130-ish points over the next closest owner. So, round of applause for Nick there. A really good job by him. Good job. But screw you. Okay? So, that brings us to our other 3 awards that we have here. These are also they were awards just to kind of give out. Not really anybody nominated on them, just had to vote for them. We have okay, now this is a little inappropriate, but it's appropriate that the guy who won this is winning it. So this is the Don't Kick Her While She's Down award. Okay, it goes to the owner who had the biggest smackdown of another owner during the regular season, or the playoffs. It could have been the playoffs, either way. This happened in the regular season, week 4, 5, 6, 7. One of those weeks, folks. It doesn't really matter. We had our number 1 seed, Nick Wheeler here. He put up 210.4 points. Maybe the highest single game point total this season, maybe league history, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Well, just guess who he's playing, folks. Guess who was in line for a beatdown. You got really 2 options here, 50-50 shot of getting it. I'll just go ahead and give it to you. It was Mr. Josh Ford. And any guesses on how many points he put up? Probably 210. That must have been a high-scoring week. Surely he put up at least 100 points, maybe 110. Lose by 110. That's a big beatdown still, folks. But guys, this Ford comes out and puts up 70.5 points. 70.5. Nick beat his total by 3 times. I don't even think that's possible to do in fantasy football. And by golly, Ford found a way to do it. Just an absolute abysmal performance from Ford. Pretty much the story of his entire season. The fact that he won any games is honestly a miracle to me. And Nick certainly didn't take it easy. Didn't play down the level of competition like the Titans do. And biggest beat down of the year. So congratulations, Mr. Nick, on your Don't Kick Her While She's Down award. Of course, the picture of that was Kareem Hunt, and Nick owns Kareem Hunt and condones that sort of thing that he did. This league does not. I do not. Some of our owners do, and I think that's very telling that he's accepting this award. So it says a lot about his character. So good job, I guess. Okay, that brings us to our second unanimous award. Well, I guess third, really. That would be the Wild West Shootout Award. This goes to the owner who was a part of the biggest, highest scoring game in the league this season and happened to win it. And this game actually kept the owner from getting that 2 seed, getting that bye. That would be Nick. Of course, he gets it again with a 187.3 win over Mr. Ian Ripple, 181.3. Rip would have hands down beaten anybody else that week. Of course, that loss made him play in the first round of the playoffs. Didn't matter. he's cruising right to the championship game because his team can handle it. But very high scoring game. You hate to see that. Honestly, there was about 4 or 5 games that were upwards rounded in this tier that you just hate. You feel bad. You hate to see it for the loser. You just hate to see it. Anytime you put up over 150, you think that's good enough to get a win. And there's about 4 or 5 times this year where it wasn't. And that can make a lot of difference. So, Nick, congratulations. He wins the Wild West Shootout Award. Good job. Good job. Okay. So, our final one before we start getting into the fun ones, okay, is our Wheelin' and Dealin' Award. Okay, this award goes to the owner who conducted the most transactions this year. That can be free agent pickups. That could be trades. That's really it. Just those 2 things. Act like I was going to go on more there, but I tricked you. So, that would go to Mr. Craig. Okay, Mr. Craig Salvatore. He had 36 transactions. That included 3 trades. He was actually tied for first most transactions with first most transactions. Sure. With Mr. Plunk, who also had 36. But whatever, we're going to give it to Craig because that's really the only thing Craig's going to win this year. Well, probably Plunk too, honestly. Might have been the only one Plunk won. But, Craig really, he rebuilt his team from the ground up. While Plunk, he kept about half of his squad together and really was just cycling through that lower half trying to get a match and hit big. Craig, had a very poor draft. I think he'll admit that. I think he did a good job of rebuilding and getting in contention there toward making a late push. His team was certainly better than his record indicated. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the real awards here, okay, folks? So, our first award is the Chucky Monkey Award, okay? And this will be given to the league's fattest owner, pretty much. I think many of you know where the Chucky Monkey moniker comes from. If you don't, I highly recommend asking a fellow league member who knows, because it's quite the funny story, okay? And personally for me, too, because I think, the person who was involved in that Chucky Monkey name, I think most of y'all know my feelings towards that person. So, without further ado, let's see who is the winner of this year's Chucky Monkey Award. Okay, I didn't really like that drum roll. Let's go with this one. And the winner is... I hope y'all can hear that. I honestly don't know. Ford! Josh Ford, the truck nuts himself. Congratulations, or maybe congratulations. I don't know if you want to win this award, to be quite honest. Personally, I was really hoping it would end up in a tie, but Ford wins by about 2 votes. Last 2, I think it was deadlocked, and then the last 2 owners decided to vote for Ford, push him over the top. Yes, well, so he was only 1 vote away from being a tie, I should say, because if 1 more owner had voted for Plunk, it would have been a push, and honestly, that would have been the best scenario, because they're both chunky monkeys, guys. They're both Chucky Monkeys in our eyes. We love them. But congratulations, Ford, for winning the first annual Chunky Monkey Award. You deserve it. I tell you, no matter how much you work out, you deserve it. Okay, so that brings us to our next award, the Jeff Fisher Perseverance Award. Okay, this goes to the owner who had the most average team, really personified the essence of Jeff Fisher. This was really brought upon by Savoy. He was really pushing for this award. Let's see if he won it, though. I don't know. Everyone knows my feelings towards Jeff. I think out of very, very average squad this year, our nominees were, I guess I should say those before. Our nominees were Savoy, myself. We had Craig and Mr. Plunk were the nominees. So, the winner of the 2018 Jeff Fisher Perseverance Award is... Mr. Savoy Santiago. Congratulations. He really wanted it, and by golly, he got it by a whopping margin. He won by 6 votes. Really just destroyed me. I think I was in 2nd place. Craig, I think, was up there. Plunk, really, I don't think he received any votes. Maybe he got a couple. But, you know, Savoy was down on his team, I think, more so than he should have been. Obviously, his record wasn't very good this year, but I think his team was better than average. I think there's other teams you can make that argument for. But, nevertheless, Savoy wanted the award. He won the award. Congratulations to Savoy. Congrats, buddy. You earned it. Okay. So, that brings us to our next award. The Hidden Gem Award. Okay, the Hidden Gem Award. This is going to go to the owner who had the best draft pick. So it doesn't count, you know, Kamara, keeping Kamara in the 13th doesn't really count as a draft pick, especially whenever it was never your draft pick to begin with, and you got it through 2 trades, blah, 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 whatever, whatever, who cares? So this is going to go to the owner who had the best draft pick this year, biggest value. Excuse me. Quickly looking at my nominee list here, that way I don't slight anyone, because I did slight someone on the nominations for this award. So, our nominees are, excuse me, goodness gracious, JD, taking Patrick Mahomes at the end of the 11th round. Mr. Ripple, taking Aaron Jones towards the top of the 9th round. Honestly, that should have been James Conner in the 15th. Hand up for me. I still think Pat Mahomes would have won, but Rip definitely would have got more votes with that James Conner pick. Blaine with George Kittle in the back of the 12th. And this one shouldn't have even counted because I broke my own rule. I didn't realize Tariq Cohen was a keeper whenever I was going through this initially. So it doesn't really count, but Duncan, Tariq Cohen in the 10th. So let's see who our winner is. Mr. JD Babcock. Congratulations, sir. Patrick Mahomes was enough to get him the win. Close one. Close margin here by 3 votes. He was able to edge out Blaine and old George Kittle in the 12th. Honestly, I think this one should have been a little bit more of a blowout. Kind of surprised it's as close as it is. George Kittle was a heck of a pickup. I'd be curious to see what the voting would have turned out as if we'd gotten James Conner on the ballot. But congratulations to Mr. JD. Hell of a pickup. He was excited, man. He was excited to get up there. I remember at draft day, he was excited to get on up there and put old Patrick Mahomes up on the board because he thought someone would steal him. Personally, I didn't think he would do jack shit this year, and by golly, he's proved a lot of people wrong. So that brings us to our next award, the You Should Have Drafted Todd Gurley Award. Okay, this is going to go to the owner who made the worst draft pick this season. Okay, and our nominees were myself for drafting Lev Bell 101. We had Craig drafting Demaryius Thomas at the top of the 4th. Hawk with Ronald Jones in the 7th, who's played like 2 games this year. JD with Royce Freeman in the 3rd, back of the 3rd, who lost his job and never really performed this year. I wonder who's going to win this award. I would be shocked if it was any other person, but let's get the drum roll going here. And the winner of the 2018 You Should Have Drafted Todd Gurley Award is your lovely commissioner, of course. Mr. Laz drafting Lev 101, a guy who didn't play a single game this whole season. You know, folks, at least my number 1 overall draft pick last year, mind you, played at least half a game last year before he was out for the year. This year didn't get it near unanimous. 1 person voted for Demaryius Thomas and Craig. Thank you for whoever that was. Honestly, you're an idiot. I shouldn't have voted for anybody else other than myself, so I'll gladly accept it. Only thing I'm going to win this year, so isn't that great? So yeah, big round of applause. Yeah, cool. Great. Oh, and I meant to play this for the Wheeling and Dealing Award. Boom, there you have it. Better late than never, am I right? So, that brings us to our next award. The Dollar General Bargain Bin Award. This goes to the owner who had the best free agent pickup this season. Our nominees for this award were Mr. Craig with Philip Lindsay. We had Blaine and Tyler Boyd. Nick, who drafted the Bears defense, or picked up the Bears defense, I should say. Obviously, it's a free agent award, you idiot. What are you doing? And myself with the acquisition of Big Ben. I should tell you right now, nobody voted for Big Ben, so that's cool. He's only been like a top 5 quarterback this year, and I got him for nothing, but it is what it is. All these folks have performed well above expectations for their squads. Obviously, that's why they were free agents. Not a really deep free agent pool to pick from. Most of the ones that have been picked up really haven't panned out. I think we hit it pretty good with the draft. Just not a lot of big free agent keepers this year, pickups. So, the winner of the Dollar General Bargain Bin Award is... I wonder who it could be. Oh my goodness! It's Laz and Big Ben! No, just kidding, guys. Come on. It's Craig. It's Craig and Philip Lindsay. He won by 9 votes. The other owners got a couple votes each. He got 10 votes for this award. So Big Ben got 0. So whatever. Congratulations, Craig. Only thing you're going to win this year. So, well, I'll take that back. You actually did win something else. You won. You won your bet against Savoy by having the same record during the regular season, but you beat them twice. You got a pivotal game this week against them. Only time I'm going to talk about any other game than the championship game. So, well, I'll recap the other 2 playoff games. But regardless, Craig, congratulations. Won the Dollar General Bargain Bin Award of the 2018 season. Woo! Having a tough time with some words today. I'm not a very good host, am I, right? Boo, yeah, great. Just remember who pays the bills around here, okay? So, that brings us to our There's Always Next Year award. This is going to go to the owner who has the best keeper potential for next season. Nominees for this award were Mr. Wilson, we had Mr. Craig, Mr. Ripple, and Mr. Plunk. No, because I think Plunk was upset that Kamara wasn't good enough to be a keeper on this list. Mr. Wilson, of course. Mr. JD, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Craig, Mr. Ripple. Those are nominees. Just 1 second, folks. Just 1 second. I'll be right back. Get some lights going in this piece. It's a little bit better. Looks a little bit more formal, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to get some more going here. I like the way that looks. It's like Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look, all right? I think I got that. Nah, maybe I didn't. I don't know. It's not really a good suit. It's not really a suit. It's just a jacket. But anyways, I digress. So, excuse me. Plunk honestly should have been included on the nomination list. He got snubbed, so better luck next year. Something to look forward to. Be better. Maybe get your own keepers, not somebody else's. Maybe that's why he didn't get nominated. Connor, did you ever think of that? Did you ever think of that, Connor? No, you probably didn't. You're probably too busy eating your Chunky Monkey. Okay? So, let's go ahead and drum roll, please. And the winner of the 2018 There's Always Next Year award is... I wonder who it could be. It's a tie! Oh my gosh, it's a tie! Oh, I did not expect us to get any ties this year. I'll be quite honest with you. Ties make me sick to my stomach. They're a little un-American if you ask me. But here we are. We have a tie. So it's between JD and Rip, surprisingly. JD's keeper situation is most likely keepers for next year is Mahomes, Mixon, and A.J. Green. Mixon and AJ are going to be in the 2nd round. Mahomes is obviously in the 11th round. Great value. No-brainer keeper there. Rip's keeper situation is James Conner in the 15th. Should be looking at the starting job there with the Steelers next year. Got Kenny G in the 9th-ish round. No, he's got Aaron Jones in the 9th. Kenny G in like the middle rounds for Kenny G. Don't want to put the wrong one on there. Very good keeper situation there, honestly. Probably shouldn't be a surprise. Maybe should have beat JD, come to think of it. They both got 4 votes each. The other 4 votes were split evenly by Wilson and Craig. So, congratulations to JD with another award, again involving Patrick Mahomes, and Mr. Ripple. Good job for both of them. So no booing there, guys. Come on, keep it civil. I told you, man. I'm gonna have to kick your ass out of here, aren't I? I knew you were gonna cause trouble. This guy, man. This guy. So that brings us to our next award, very near and dear to my heart. Probably as none of you know, I was a Burlsworth kid. I got to sit in the Burlsworth section whenever I was younger. Pretty sure I'm the only owner in the league who has done that. Definitely don't think Savoy has ever been a Burlsworth kid who didn't, I don't think they got to go down on the field during halftime of a Razorback game and get interviewed by somebody, get asked a couple questions and get on the Houston Nuts show. I don't think you ever got to do that. Yours truly did. I mean, obviously that's how I'm so great on film here and on the TV that you guys are obviously watching this on. I just got that charisma, man. I got that, that pop. I got that pop. So Savoy just doesn't have it, but maybe he'll win this award. He is nominated. This is going to go to the Burlsworth Hog Spirit Award. Going to go to the most active owner in league activities, non-council related. Obviously, try to keep them out. Otherwise, it would just be all of them. So the nominees for this award were Mr. Wilson, Mr. Plunk, Mr. Savoy, and Mr. Blaine. Okay? So the winner of the 2018 Burlsworth Spirit Award is... Oops. Skirt. Oh, Savoy Santiago. Congratulations, buddy. He edged out Plunk by one measly little vote. Very close to being a tie. I think Blaine got the other vote that was sitting out there. So congratulations to Savoy there for getting his first ever Burlsworth Award. I've never, there's a first time for everything. And Savoy, I'm glad we can make this dream a reality for you. That's really all there is to say about that one. Congratulations. Very deserving of the award. I think he deserves it more than Plunk. So, brings us to our third to last award here. Our Shunned by the Fantasy Gods Award. Just says shunned on there. That's it. I was getting tired towards the end of these. I was just going shorthand. So, this is going to go to the owner who had the worst luck this season, whether it be injuries, whether it be points against, whether it be a combination of both. Just seemed like everything was going against this guy. Just like this guy over here, man. This guy, I tell you, he had the worst luck of all. If he doesn't win this award, I'm going to fight somebody. I'm going to fight somebody if he doesn't win. So, hey, I'm rooting for you, okay? Because I know the people up there weren't. So, nominees for this award were Mr. Duncan Bulch, obviously for points against. Didn't really have too many injuries. Mr. Wilson, who was just absolutely decimated by injuries this year, certainly had a lot of points against him as well. Mr. Rip, who kind of had some injuries late, probably really shouldn't be nominated for this award, but he's on here. And Mr. Ford, who did have several injuries this year, believe it or not, even though he just sucks. So, yeah, congrats. Yeah, he sucks. Great. I knew you guys would like that. Yeah, Ford's the worst, isn't he? He's just the worst. He's terrible. All right. So, the winner of the 2018 Shunned by the Fantasy Gods Award is... Sorry, man. We couldn't get it done for you. Mr. Duncan Bulch, honestly in a landslide. 7 votes separated him from second place for this award, which was Mr. Wilson. Duncan had a fair amount of points scored this year himself for his team. He did have a lot of points scored against. Didn't really have to deal with the injury bug, though, which is why I kind of hesitate giving him this award. But nevertheless, he did have an awful string of luck. If he had my schedule, he probably would have been in the playoffs and would have promptly gotten his ass kicked. So, congratulations, Mr. Duncan. Again, only thing you're going to win this year. So, it's really good I'm glad some of these lower teams or non-playoff teams are winning these awards. Makes them feel good about themselves a little bit. Makes them feel like they're not total pieces of shit, which they are. So, all right, that brings us to our penultimate award. Ooh, fancy word there. You like that? That's $1 million word right there. the Flow God Award. Okay, and this is going to go to the owner who attributed the best flow. And for those of you who don't know, flow is either hair, best hair, it could be facial hair. Really, it's supposed to be attributed to longer hair. I tried to make a little combo here. It could be a combination of hair and facial hair. It could be just facial hair. It could be just hair. It could be any of it. Okay, the nominees for this were Blaine, who I think is the odds-on favorite to win this award. He's got the long flowing locks. He's got the beautiful 80s porn mustache that gets a little unkempt at times. That you normally back in the day they'd keep it nice and tight. But he's got quite the tickler on him, you know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying, folks. This is a late night show now. Come on, you got to be ready for this stuff. And then we had Mr. Ford, who also has some nice salad back there. Just nice little flowing locks. So I likes to have the headband there to push it back. Very hipster of him. Got a nice trimmed full beard, not too unkempt. Just keeps it nice and tight. Got to appreciate that. We had Mr. Wilson, who's, his hair is solid. It's fine. It's similar to mine. But he's really embraced the beard life since he's been out there in Dallas. Really, really a fan of it. It's got a little nice reddish hue to it, a little bit. Really adds some spirit, some charisma, that hog pride that I love to see. And then last but certainly not least, we have Duncan, of course. How could I forget Duncan? Recently, he's trimmed his beard up a little bit. I think that's because of the girlfriend. Just spitballing here, because he was supposed to wait till the end of the year. I think he got a girl and told him snip, 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 or bye, bye, bye. So, still, whenever that beard was in its heyday, primo. Duncan has had some crazy hairstyles with the mohawks and other things of that nature throughout the years. I think all of us are aware of it. Certainly a dark horse, I think, to win this award. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and announce the award, shall we? The winner of the 2018, oh shit, caught it, reflexes for days. 2018 Flow God Award is, of course, he deserves it, Mr. Blaine Hill. Won by 3 votes, edged out Ford, actually. Ford was in second place there. His hair's really progressed as he's gone from high school to college and into the adult world for him. I mean, he's a physical therapist trainer. He's not, I don't give too much credit. He's not a physical therapist. He's not a physical therapist. He's just a guy who hangs out at the gym all day. So, the Flow God fits that. Blaine works in sales. So obviously, as a parent, he can let go a little bit. I know whenever he was interviewing, he had to cut off the precious locks and shave the facial hair. And I thought that was about going to kill him. So I'm glad that he's in a line of work that allows him to return to his Flow God status. And I certainly don't think of a better owner who could win this award. This award was basically made for you, Blaine. So congratulations. You deserved it. All right, that brings us to our final award of the evening before we finally get into a little championship breakdown. That is the Thinking Outside the Box Award. This is going to go to the owner who had the most creative team name. Didn't really want to do this award. Karen kind of talked me into doing it. Probably get cut next year or replaced by something else, just FYI. But, alas, here we are. Nominees for this award were, I just got a little ahead of myself. Nominees for this award were Mr. Nick. He had, and honestly, if Kareem hadn't gotten cut, he would not be nominated for this award. But him changing his name to Concussion Protocol, even though he got it from me in my power rankings. Everyone knows he bumped his noggin, had a concussion for like a month, which is just insane. I mean, come on, guys get concussions all the time in NFL games and go back out there, and you can't drive yourself for a month after a little knock on your noggin. I mean, but it is very appropriate, very funny. Whatever. I mean, I certainly hope he doesn't win. Like, that's just what Nick needs. Is another win, doesn't it? But, the things he's going up against are pretty dog shit, I'll be honest with you. I mean, second best, I think, is probably Blaine, the Swamp Donkeys, little swamp-ass play on words there. Got to appreciate that. He got Cam before the storm, even though Hawk doesn't have Cam on his team. Cam kind of sucks, so there's not really a storm to be had with him. And then their final was Kickers Lives Matter with Mr. Duncan. Whatever. Kickers aren't in the league, so obviously they don't matter. But they did help me push a bet last weekend and save me $25. So good for them for that. I do appreciate them for that. So the winner of the 2018 Thinking Outside the Box Award is... I don't know why I ended on this award. Probably should have ended on a better one. It is, yeah. You know, you fucking know who it is. Yeah, there it is. Mr. Nick, the concussion protocol, he wins it. Cool. Another award for Nick. I think that makes what, like 5 on the night for him, probably. So that's just great. That's just great, isn't it? You gotta love that. Nick doesn't get enough awards, doesn't get enough aplomb and credit for all the stuff he does. So that brings us to an end, folks. That's it. That's the end of the award show. But please stick around here. Right now, we're going to go ahead and get into the what's it called? The championship preview. Not really going to talk about the semis. They're pretty much blowouts across the board. Blaine had its shot to come back on Monday night. He needed about 23 points at old Scam Newton. He couldn't get it done. What are you going to do? Scam sucks. Teams knew he couldn't throw it more than 10 yards down the field for pretty much the entire season. They just loaded up. Saints games just suck to watch now. Maybe it's just because they've been on the road, but, I mean, they've been scoring like 7 points a game and still winning, but whatever. And then the other one was a big blowout between, who was it? Rip and Hawk, yeah. Hawk just got killed as was expected. I mean, Rip's team is just too good. So, I think standing up messed up my allergies maybe a little bit. Oh, Nick. All right. Of course, you're going to be a little asshole and play this game, aren't you? All right, so let me get a sponsor here real quick. Let's make it a good one for the last of the year. Something that Nick doesn't hate anything. He's too good of a guy. Don't tell him I said that. Yeah, let's go with this. Let's go with this. Sure, why not? Little pantry action there, you can see. All right. Ooh, doggy. We're gonna have our premium saltine cracker game of the week here. Championship game of the week. I chose these. These are made by Nabisco. Very good. Per 5 crackers, only 70 calories. Not too bad there. Pretty moderately high in sodium. No sugars though, which is good. No saturated fats, which is great. I hate saturated fats. I need those like I need a hole in the head. Jokes are still at it, even though the award show's over. The brain never stops moving, folks. So I appreciate y'all sticking with me here. Hopefully you're sticking with me. I mean, this is by far the longest video I've ever done. Obviously, it's a special time. Next year, hope to do it up even more. Have some guests on. Maybe some actual trophies for some of these. Maybe call in some of the award winners and inform them and really make a big event of it. So I think this was a good start, but there's always room for improvement. Always room for improvement. So, premium saltine crackers, topped with real sea salt. I think these are very appropriate for this game because if Nick wins, I tell you, I'm going to be the saltiest mofo in the world. And I think a lot of y'all folks will be too. So, premium, I mean, who names their thing premium? Like, that's just this brand's name is Premium Saltine Crackers. Like, what kind of brand name is that? Whatever. Premium Saltine Crackers, the official cracker of the Morris Men's Fantasy Football League. You know, these are also good if you've got, like, an upset stomach. And, like, as a kid, I remember, like, if you're trying to throw up or whatever, you'd eat these and it settled your stomach. I mean, I think these have, like, magical powers in them, but I don't know. Should have some water with that, probably, but we'll fight through it. So, obviously, that's our championship game. discount double check and concussion protocol. Facing off, honestly, I think they're probably the two best teams. Would like to see Blaine in here. That way there's zero chance Nick could win the championship or even compete for it. But alas, Blaine fell up just short. Battle of the quarterbacks here. We got Aaron Rodgers at home against the Jets, or on the road against the Jets, versus Andrew Luck at home against the Giants. Giants secondary is okay. The Jets are pretty bad. But, Rodgers isn't really playing for anything either. Neither are the Jets, so who knows how that's going to go. I think I might have to give the slight edge to Luck in that one. Battle of the running backs, we got David Johnson and Chris Carson. Big loss for Rip. I think not really talked about as much as it should be. That he's not going to have Aaron Jones or James Conner for this game. I think he does have the depth to sustain it. But I think he'd be feeling a lot better about his number 2 running back situation if Connor or, Aaron was playing. He does have Jamal Williams on the bench. We'll see how that goes. I might slide him in over Carson, but who knows? We'll see. Carson has been playing really well of late. Nick's running backs, he doesn't have any in right now, but he's going to be picking from Damian Williams, Matt Breida, and James White. And Josh Adams, I guess. Spencer Ware is doubtful for the game. That means he's not going to play. Damian Williams surely isn't going to have another 30-point game, especially against a better defense in Seattle. I mean, the Chargers have a good defense too, but he's got a tough decision there. Knowing him, whoever he starts is going to get 30 points apiece. That's just how it goes with him. But I'm going to give the edge to Rip in that one, just because he's actually filled out his roster. And plus, I don't want Nick to win. So, battle of the receivers, we got Devontae Adams and Robert Woods squaring off against DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald. Obviously, big loss for Nick. OBJ has been ruled out officially of the game. His receivers are pretty asshole. He's got Corey Davis and Josh Reynolds sitting on the bench. I guess he's hoping that Larry can expose the weak Rams secondary, but I got a feeling that the Rams are going to bounce back this week in a big time way and prove some doubters wrong. Hopkins is obviously a stud. Secondaries, the Philadelphia secondary is just, there's nothing left. So I'm going to give the edge to Hopkins there, but I think Devontae and Woods have enough to make up for it and ultimately give Rip the edge in that matchup. We got Zach Ertz and Travis Kelce. I'm going to go ahead and just push this one. I think these are both the two best tight ends in the league. It's not close. Kelce coming off one of his worst games of the season last week, yes. Ertz has kind of been up and down of late, certainly off his historic pace that he was on earlier. And then battle of the flex, we got Julian Edelman against Buffalo, and probably either Corey Davis or Josh Reynolds, maybe a running back. I honestly don't know. Doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters who Nick puts in there. Rip's going to win that flex. Rip's swinging for the fences at IDP with Khalil Mack. Gambling, I mean, Khalil's basically either had 1 point, 0 points, or like 15 plus. So, got to do what he's got to do there. Bobby Wagner has been a beast. I mean, he's going to have 12 points. Book it. You got to hope to limit the damage that Chicago does. And it's a little dicey, too, starting New England's defense. I mean, Buffalo is not terrible, and New England secondary, they're pretty much their whole defense is pretty ass. So, ultimately, I think Rip has enough, which, ironically enough, I've often mocked this owner, Mr. Ripple, for not having the chutzpah, having the mental fortitude, having the it factor that it takes to win a fantasy football championship. And folks, let me tell you right now, nothing would make me happier, nothing would make him happier than the league happier than seeing Nick to be dethroned, especially by Rip. I'd love to see it. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be a hell of a game this week. Should be a close one. We got Hogs lost in basketball. Basketball sucks. I'm not going to talk about that. Got a couple games on tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, evening. Obviously the full slate. Sunday, I believe this game is going to be determined by Sunday night. I don't think we're going to have to wait around for Monday. So, Rip, if you make me pay Nick, I'm going to fight you. I've already told Rip that if he wins, I'm going to cover $50, up to $50 in expenses on our next council retreat coming up before the season starts next year. So he's got some extra motivation to play for. For those of you who are doing the bowl pick'em, thank you. For those of you who aren't, screw you guys. I don't like you. No reason not to. I mean, it's just a chance to win free fab. So working on what the draft order is going to be. We'll hopefully get that ironed out here within the next month or so and get that out to all of you guys. So again, thank you for a wonderful season. Best season yet, I think. I think we just keep getting better. We're on a rocket ship, folks, and we're flying past the moon out to interstellar land. Okay, we're gonna make it. Can't wait to hopefully have all you guys back next year. Obviously, we got the destination draft next year. Going to be a hell of a time. In old Durant, Oklahoma. Really looking forward to that. I think everyone's going to be able to go, other than one owner has told me he won't be able to, and he does have a very good reason. I'll let him tell you that to you whenever he feels ready. And really, that's it, guys. So congratulations to all of our award winners tonight. Good luck to Rip in the championship game. And hope you all have a happy holidays. Drive safe, travel safe. If you're going anywhere, be safe for New Year's, all that stuff. Don't make the same mistakes I've done in the past on New Year's. And that's it. Woo pig.